Hello world, I'm Amnamna, and today we're going to continue playing Danganronpa. I think we're about to start the class trial, so we should probably start off with a little bit of a refresher. So, let me turn on anime mode. Alright, let's go in and review the evidence before we continue. Okay, we've got all these truth bullets. Right. Got 17 bullets right now. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. It's thought, so no confirmation that it was the same weapon. I saw you where you murdered that. The tart was found in the repository under Kiyotaka's lifeless body. It was apparently used to move Kiyotaka in order to avoid leaving any bloodstains. Okay. The dolly is found when the body was rediscovered in the repository. This specific dolly has no handles, and blood was found on one of its wheels. It is assumed that this is the same dolly that was in the equipment room where Kiyotaka's body was originally discovered. Okay. Okay, when they were first found in the nurse's office, Hifumi's glasses were covered in blood. However, when they were next seen in the repository, they were completely clean. Interesting. I wonder why. Did the killer, for some reason, decide to clean Hifumi's glasses? Part of me right now is theorizing that maybe Hifumi faked his death with the blood and then wiped his glasses afterwards to disappear, and then suddenly he actually ended up getting killed in the process. Maybe. Again, we're just throwing around a bunch of wild ideas. The game has not... I think the game has done a very good job of obscuring any possibility of what could have happened here to me. I think, yeah, because right now it's trying to point the finger at, what was his name again? Hero, but obviously it's not Hero, I think, right? Yeah, we'll have to keep... I think more details will come across during the, trial, so let's see what more we have here. Hammers of all shapes and sizes were found in the repository. One of them was found wet and apparently been recently washed. Again, wonder why. If they went through all the trouble to paint the hammer and, you know, set themselves up as a, what was it, Robo-Justice, I'm not really sure why they decided to wash the hammers afterwards. Unless some evidence got on the hammer somehow of who they were. The door connecting the art room to the repository was designed to open only from the repository side. According to Ali, it was locked during the search for the missing body. However, when the body was rediscovered, it had somehow been unlocked. Okay. It can only be opened from the repository side. So someone had to be on the inside when they locked it. That doesn't really make sense. Like, that's like the equivalent of having the lock on the inside of a closet, right? What? I don't know. I think... Oh yeah, so... What the clues have been alluding to so far, I think, is that there's some sort of trap door or secret passage between the rooms, too. So there's probably like a secret entrance here in the repository area. Okay. A puddle of blood was found in the equipment room where the Kiyotaka's body was initially found. Tire tracks have been left behind in the blood. Okay. The cloth was found in a trash can in the nurse's office. It is branded with a popular cartoon character and was found with blood on it. Well, I was wondering if someone used it to wipe some blood away. So the connection you would make here is that Hifumi, or whoever, took this and wiped off his glasses. But why? Again, like, the only theory I have right now is that Hifumi tried to fake his own death and then wiped off the blood with this cloth and threw it in the trash. And then when he thought he got away scot-free, someone abducted him and actually killed him for real. Again, I'm not sure why, but that's the only theory I have so far of how I'm trying to connect the evidence here. Yeah. Next. Ifumi's body disappeared when Celeste and Aoi left the nurse's office to use the bathroom. Okay. Apparently they were gone. They weren't gone more than a minute or two. It'd be very challenging to move Hifumi's body in that little time. So maybe Hifumi was actually... Yeah, maybe Hifumi actually was still alive and only faking his death. And he was moving around after they left. Only to actually get killed himself afterwards. I'm still not sure why that would happen. I haven't made any sense of this yet, but that's what I'm trying to construct so far. And oh yeah, so the nurse's office or whatever has blood packs in it, so that's how Hifumi could have gotten blood to stage his injury or death if he wanted to. This is a note that Yasuhiro wrote to get everyone to meet in the dining hall. Meet in the dining hall. That's all it says. The handwriting is remarkably neat and clear. He has serifs and everything on it too. Who the hell writes with serifs on? These are blueprints for Robo Justice, which were found in Yasuhiro's room. And as we can see, it's the handwriting's different. Then again, maybe Yasuhiro disguised his handwriting for the plans. It's kind of hard to do that, though. I guess you can always just write with your left hand, right? Or your non-dominant hand, I suppose. That's a possibility. But I think right now, the game's implication here is that it can't possibly be Hiro who wrote down these notes. No one but Yasuhiro could have possibly fit into the costume. In addition, anyone wearing it will not be able to see their feet or bend the waist more than 90 degrees. That probably makes it very difficult to murder people, though, so that'd be very challenging. Tricky here. Apparently Yasuhiro received a mysterious note last night. The note reads, I found a hole. Maybe we can't use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Okay? Oh yeah, so 1 a.m. is an important part here. Kiyotaka's wristwatch broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock. It was confirmed that it was late last night. It was confirmed that as of late last night, the watch still worked, which means it must have broken the following morning when he was attacked. Yep, because the previous night, he did read out time to us at 10 p.m. So had to have happened this morning. Okay. Kiyotaka's lifeless body was found clutching a small scrap of paper. Interestingly enough, Hifumi had this note hidden on him. On the edge, as it appears to be torn, it reads, I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. I'm no forensic scientist or anything, but the tear here looks like a match between these two. Yeah. And finally, each student has their own e-handbook, which also acts as a card key. The owner's name is displayed each time the handbook is booted up. It is believed that no handbooks were involved in carrying out the murders this time. Oh, okay. I think this is the game's way of just saying, don't worry about this part. I think, who was it? Was it Kyoko? I think Kyoko was the one who dropped this clue to us. It seems completely out of nowhere, but I'm guessing the designers of the game probably thought, oh, they might go down the wrong path if they assumed this. Let's just make sure they know it has nothing to do with this. Understandable. They went through all the trouble to make this mystery, and they were like, oh, wait. there's this one part here that might confuse people if they don't know something. Okay, just throw it in there at the very end. Okay. Alright. Regulations. Look through all the clues. I didn't really need to save there, but... okay. Guess we're going in. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we all were there...
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello, hello. He multiplied?
Wrong.
No, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. This is some anime bullshit right here. Okay, hey, can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Whew.
Can we just get to the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along. Oh. I'm guessing this is like another clue.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Fine.
Hey! Hey!
Then, if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train, elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay, and shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for all your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no. But, how unfortunate then would seem he has our culprit.
Hey.
This isn't a place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. Thank God he didn't say Amogus. It wasn't me. You gotta believe me. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up into a cruel fate. When I see all of you all gathered like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm going to start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break.
Yahoo!
I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the current open once again. I'm still wondering if alter ego can factor into this anyhow. Okay. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle. A deadly defense. A deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Do you want to save the data? I guess no point. Yeah, you might as well save here. It's no difference. Okay, set skills. F. Increases the time limit for each phase. Okay. Stays your aim a little. Increases bullet capacity. Allows you to reload to. Okay, let's see. Which one of these mini games is more annoying? Increases the time limit for each phase. I guess the time limit isn't really that big of a deal right now. Then again, let's just maximize the amount of SP we actually end up spending. Okay, so this is going to be the last save on that slot. We're going to do new saves afterwards. Finish preparations. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Let me do some adjustments on my end for the audio. I want the voice here to be just a little bit louder. So let me adjust. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
Murderer.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Maybe he was framed.
I don't know!
Yeah. No offense to Hiro, but I don't think he can do all of that. Making a suit. Executing on a plan like that. And killing 2 people. Then again, he might just be a great actor. Oh yeah, how do anime characters do this, by the way? Having like their coat, you know, not having their sleeves in at all, but somehow the coat stays on them like a cape somehow. How does that work? How do they do that? I don't know. Is Hiro really the killer? Or, before anything else, we have to make that clear. I forgot the controls because it's been a week since I last played. It's been 2 weeks since the trial, I think, actually. He has to hear his message.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is... Alright,
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints,
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
what do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
Who the hell writes of serifs in their fucking handwriting? Shit.
When you compare it to the blueprints,
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that's what the person wanted you to think.
Unless that person made it a point
Exactly.
to disguise their handwriting.
Celeste has to bring that up, okay? We have to, you know, take that into account. Of course, that will require Hiro being intelligent enough to knowing that is a thing he has to cover up.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Okay, cool. Lay it on me, Sakura.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
I have to agree, but well, let's see what Sakura has to say.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
Interesting. I wonder if he genuinely thinks that, or he's just like, this can't be that boring. This has to be more interesting. I don't think he's the killer. Please, please, game, make this interesting.
what?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
And that's the question, isn't it?
Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
I think. What is Alter Ego capable of? Can Alter Ego make a robot? That's the question.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not that smart, okay? I haven't figured that out yet. And of course, he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Oh, hold up, okay? It's been a week since the investigation. I didn't exactly connect the dots yet. Let's see here. We'll do a new slot now. The suspicious individual in question. Here. Individual in question. The one must have been in the suit. Okay, hero. The Illuminati? That's right, they're working behind the scenes to try to set me up. Those dudes are super scary for serious.
Shoot!
What's that? I just want to have some fun there, but okay. I wanted to see what happens when I said Illuminati. I wonder if it's the same in Japanese. Okay. Okay. The one that must have been in the suit.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously couldn't wear the suit, at least the one we saw.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
I was still hoping the Illuminati might show up, though. That would have been fun.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
I'm kind of on Byakuya's side on this one, I think.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
It has to be true, otherwise this would be too open and shut.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Imagine if Byakuya's reasoning is, it would be more interesting to the story.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Okay. So in the case of Taka, that was, I think that's open and shut, actually. It's the tarp and the dolly. It's really Hifumi we're not too sure about. Okay, the things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been...
I got it!
There's still one more thing. And the dolly. Repository dolly.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude? Oh, my bit rate. Come back, bit rate. Okay.
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Ooh, someone's gonna correct me now?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
Are you trying to gaslight me, Celeste?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
I solved the last two cases, bitch.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Oh, I wonder if Celeste is involved then. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I can change her mind. If I could just explain then why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. the blood on the dolly. And the marks on the floor. Another element? How many times are you gonna change the game? Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But for now, just locking and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it'll cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Hey, Zebrahead. Welcome back to the chat. How many times are you guys gonna keep changing this minigame on me? Basically, just remember that the X button now has a function along with the A button and the Y buttons. Wait, what did the A button do again? Okay, I think the A button lock onto targets, Y shoots, and X reloads now. Okay, I think that's how it works. You automatically reload at start of fever time. I forgot the button for fever time. Oh god, and now your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to general, you won't have to reload at all. I might just lower the difficulty at this point. I don't understand these mini games. In which case you have to ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
There we go. We figured it out, I think. You can't even read what's going on because you're focused so much on
You're
getting the
asking
beat
for
right.
proof that the dolly moved. I have it right here.
I don't like that minigame at all. Like, I'm so focused on getting the timing right for the beats that I don't actually know what she's saying. This minigame doesn't work at all. I don't think it... The minigame does not gel that well with the mystery solving aspect of this game. I'm sorry. Okay.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
I could have just pointed that out. I didn't need to play a stupid minigame for that.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Les really hate me that much? Unless she's the killer somehow.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then...
Maybe it actually is a killer robot. Like it's a literal robot killing people. Okay, we got phase 3. Only like, what, 9 more phases left?
What kind of robot is it?
Maybe it's a sex robot, who knows?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Yeah, so the dolly's probably... Yeah, wait, the handles on the dolly, there weren't any, really, right? You would have to actually bend over all the way to move that thing. I don't remember what the dolly looks like, but I don't think there were handles on it, like, test level ones. If I look at how the body was moved, clear to mind the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Make your argument! Robo Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle,
It doesn't, no.
all you'd have to do is bend
Bend over.
No, it's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Bitch, you put it on! You don't remember?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
That was literally 10 minutes ago, damn it! How did you forget? I'm as flat as a bat in here! Can't see my feet at all! I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! Me! And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. Sight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Maybe he kicked him down.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
With enough perseverance, maybe, but it wouldn't be a reliable strategy to transport a body if you were going to be wearing that suit. You would get caught really easily otherwise.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible! Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit,
Come.
it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
But you can't take off the suit on your own. There's absolutely no chance the costume was taken off to move the body. You can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help. Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? Self. I didn't make stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. Oh. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Didn't you put it on to test yourself?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Okay. Next phase. Let's go.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
What if Hifumi set us all up? He's the only one we have a picture with Robo-Justice. Maybe he was sort of like, puppeteering it. I don't know, like, it's seeing him with the clean glasses after knowing they were wiped off. I feel like he might have been trying to set up a killer. You know, he might have been trying to, what was it? Frame someone and make it look like he was killed. I don't know. I still haven't connected the dots yet, but we're getting closer here. How did he get hurt? Hurt. That guy hit me. Me. What guy? Guy. Robo-Justice, that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Ow.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
If only there were more students alive to talk to. That would really help. Still on phase 4, huh? Okay.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning.
Time to retrace our steps. The third time.
4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? Wrong. I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? Wrong. No, it's a rather intense scream for someone like you. You. I saw him. The strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. Peered. Celeste looking kind of sus now. Huh. She was the one that saw Robo Justice. She was the one that took the picture of him. Well, I don't know. I'm just accusing people for nothing now.
And then,
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
at that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Or was he? Did anyone actually check for like a pulse or anything? Or
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
What if the body discovery announcement was actually for Taka? Wait, we have to go through the timeline again. I'm not sure I can make that accusation right now.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
So it was Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko was there too, right? So 3 people would have been there to witness Taka's dead body. So it could have, that alarm could have been for him, right? But wait, when we got into the room, it also played though, didn't it? Hold up, did it play? Re-roll this.
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
Uh-oh.
Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
Interesting. So we're not sure which, so that means we don't know if it was actually for one or the other, was it?
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Ning. Are we hallucinating all of this or something? Thing?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository,
How did she find the bodies?
which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
You're telling me. So wait, it's been a while. When was the second time the bell rang then for the dead body?
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
Hold on a second here. Got a bug on the table. Gotta kill it. Alright, so my thoughts are... I guess my running theory is that Hifumi staged his death initially. And that's how he was able to vacate the premises after both Hina and Celeste walked off for like a minute or two. He just got up and walked away. He used his handkerchief to wipe off the blood on his face. He used the blood pack from the refrigerator in the nurse's office. He was waiting for someone else to kill Taka at the same time, I think. And that way he would stage it as if he had died when actually he was still alive. But then, when he got up to the second floor, or was it third floor, I guess, he ended up getting knocked off. I'm guessing he was waiting for the opportunity after, let's see, Makoto, Yakuya, and Toko were no longer, and Sakura were no longer present in the area where Taka had died. And then he went to grab Taka's body, put it on the dolly, and pushed him into the repository. And then that's when his killer showed up and got to him. I don't know. That's the theory, though. I'm feeling, yeah, I feel confident that Hifumi was still alive at that moment. I just don't see why he would wipe his glasses. I just don't see why that would have been a thing, unless he was alive and staging it. That's the only thing I can think of for that implication there.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I had to find them no matter what. I think now's the time to save. We're about to jump into something, aren't we? Still on phase 4. Okay. Monokuma File 3.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka
we don't.
came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but it doesn't necessarily mean they were in order.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Hold up, what is the Monokuma File saying? Thought they were both killed in a similar weapon. They were killed with a similar weapon. Not exactly the same, though.
Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Fuck.
Shoot!
I mean, the Monokuma File didn't say what order it was. I'm a cheat. It's really hard understanding how the logic works in these. Okay?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi
Oh, wait.
was killed with Justice
Maybe
Hammer
I
3,
can use the order
while
to...
Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Hold down the left bumper. We target. Maybe I can reuse the order as a bullet. Maybe that's a secret here.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering
Of the Justice Hammer.
hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of
The Justice
hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's
Death came from a
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
I'm trying to think here. How do I deconstruct this?
So,
I thought
regarding
using order.
Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the
numbering of the
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence proof Taka was killed before Hifumi. Oh boy. I don't know if I have that yet. Let's see. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. Huh. Wristwatch? Okay. Oh, I have to go.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer, because as of last night,
Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock! You know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Uh-oh.
because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Yeah. Huh? What was that? Are we really playing the same flashback again? We already been through this.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct?
Yep, because girls have to use the bathroom together.
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Yeah, you must have been very useful when passed out, right?
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
We're on phase 6 now, so we're halfway through the trial. I think.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Okay, so my theory right now is that he was still alive.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We cannot have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Damn, you didn't have to say that, Makoto. We were all thinking of it, but you didn't have to go there.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
You didn't have to go there either, Hero.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
It sounds like you're trying to sell me something.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
She's on the same level as me here. She has the same idea. Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another ghost!
Okay, so I think Kyoko agrees with our theory of Hifumi still being alive.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, We found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
It isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? I think so. Yeah, now... I think when we connect the dots with the glasses being wiped, it has to be. So that was our theory for a while. Broken wristwatch. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I'm sure the body discovery was me only once. But Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
I'm still alive.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Someone else's discovery. Huh. I'm still trying to look at the script. Can I look at this? Oh, wait, we can do this. Oh, this makes it easier. And our bullet was the broken wristwatch. And I don't think that helps at all in the wristwatch. I think our target's this one, right? The dead body has been found. Maybe I can use... He was actually still alive with dead body has been found. We'll see.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
Without it, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's
Dead body had been found, and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Okay, good. You don't have to shoot it down.
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Damn it.
Shoot!
Okay, system. Return title. Try again. Like, I have the idea, I just don't know how the words work in the discussion. How words, broken wristwatch. Can I load different bullets in?
Are you saying that when we first found
I can't.
Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you
Okay.
saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
We
there's
can
a chance he
recycle.
was actually still...
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that surely you heard the body discovery and
Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the announcement was
Let's load
made.
the other bullet here.
Are we really so
maybe
The announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, let's load this bullet.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had...
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I have to remember that you don't have to use
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
I have to remember you can use them out of order. I thought I think for when I first got introduced to the mechanic, I thought you had to use them in order. Like you can only use the ones from earlier in the discussion on the later ones, but no, you can just let it loop. I didn't realize that for a while.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Oh yeah, we did, right? Yeah. It's not like I've forgotten in 1 or 2 weeks. The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when... It took... Huh. Huh. When both bodies were rediscovered?
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. The body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use to... Yeah, we know how this works.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
The glasses.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Is Celeste trying to gaslight us? There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Make your argument. Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
Okay.
there was no notable difference.
Oh.
Then,
No!
is he really still alive?
Bitch!
Of course not. It is impossible.
This is ridiculous.
I fucking hate minigames!
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body,
It was in the...
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no...
Notable difference.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Okay, the evidence I found in the trash can.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
You remember that? Out of all the things you forgot, you remember this? How?
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
You never know.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
More than likely.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses' owner?
That's a good point.
Unless the killer just wanted to fuck with us.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
I'm surprised we didn't get that as a truth bullet somewhere. I guess the game figured there was already so many things to keep track of.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
Which makes it kind of sus that Celeste knew that the bodies were in the repository.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
Alter ego. We're still on. Okay, we're on phase 8 now.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could be.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Ugh.
What? In his pants?
Pantsu?
Yes, his pants.
Why did we need like 4 people to say his pants?
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Well, people can't find out. So don't tell anyone else for now. Let's be in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
Oh shit, it's different!
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Taka.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
No, TikTok is cancer.
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
There we go.
No,
Easy.
it's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
Yeah, Naruhodo.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
It had to be Hifumi then, right? Hifumi staged all this. I mean, well, yeah, Hifumi's pretty sussy. He pretended to be dead, so yeah. Pretty suspicious stuff. But who killed Hifumi then? Can someone use that note to trick Taka?
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
Okay, give me a moment, guys. I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay. We are back. Okay.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka.
I got it!
There we go.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
We already said it, Hina!
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly, which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa.
An accomplice.
Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact,
Please don't say something stupid, Hero.
he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
No, he's probably dead.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
And why would Hifumi blame Hiro? Unless... The only connection I'm having here is maybe it's Celeste. Maybe he died simping for Celeste, and that's why he blamed Hiro. Because we know he was simping a little bit for Celeste. That's all I have to work with right now. But even then, we know he prefers the 2D girls, right? That's why he's all for Alter Ego. And where's Alter Ego in all of this? When are we bringing in Alter Ego to the discussion? Maybe it was Alter Ego also. Who knows? We're still not there yet. I don't know. I don't have all the clues yet. I haven't connected this together. This is very exciting.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Still on phase 9.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
I was about to say, like, was Hiro actually making a good point there?
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
I mean, there were already hammers in the room, right? In a repository.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
God damn it.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I think the way it's worded in the Monokuma file also implies that. Monokuma probably purposely wrote it that way, so that way it wouldn't necessarily have to be the same weapon.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill the Fumi. Alright. Let's see. The whole picture surrounding this case won't be unclear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. Spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer. Make its appearance!
Maybe.
Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info.
Well,
What?
one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, that's wrong.
Got him.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
I mean, not entirely different. It was still a hammer.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones,
And a lot of them are unaccounted for now.
and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
It's almost poetic.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
But why would Hifumi blame Hiro? That part, I still don't have enough information on. We're on phase 10 though, we're close, guys.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Yeah.
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Then again, the game wouldn't propose the opportunity for an accomplice unless it was going to come into play at some point. Well, that's fourth wall breaking logic there. We have to think of a realistic reason for Hifumi to play an accomplice here. My theory so far, I think he was doing it independently. And then he just happened to get murdered. But I have nothing to base that on right now. Yeah. So another theory I threw out there was maybe he's simping for Celeste. That's the only reason he would cover up and say Hiro was the one who killed him at the end. But I'm still unsatisfied because where is Alter Ego in all of this? I feel like Alter Ego has to play some sort of role in this murder somehow. I really hope that comes into play. Well, let's see where we go here. We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but yeah. Let's see. So why would Hiro work with someone? You have the spotless hammer. Uh-oh.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, Only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Huh. Are we saying there's no chance two people really work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Huh.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
We have the spotless
That
hammer.
is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Huh. In this case, there were two murders. Impossible. Is it really as simple as saying two murders, so that's impossible? I don't see how, well, what's the truth bullet? I forgot. The spotless hammer. Spotless hammer doesn't really work for either of these. Two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible.
That is how the rule...
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however,
there were
two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one
Oh,
person
I think
is
what we're trying to
complicit in
say
the
here
murder,
is that if they both
only
murder
the one
someone,
who
it's okay.
actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the
rule holds true.
No, that's wrong.
Well, if they both murdered someone.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
English, Kyoko!
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Okay. Yeah. I did think that was, yeah, like I did run the idea of them being independent murders. I didn't, but yeah, now that you mention it. Yeah, working together in parallel to murder two people together. The only reason I didn't really, yeah, like, But it never really came to my attention that this would be an idea, though. Like, would that be possible? Would Monokuma allow that? That's the thing I'm curious about. I guess it comes down to like a 50-50 chance, though, right? Like, okay, one of us gets it or one. I don't know how it works. 'Cause the only reason I'm hesitant to like think that was a theory to begin with is that the way the rules were set out, you would assume Monokuma only wants one person to be graduating.
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Yeah, like I just said, I thought I had the idea of two separate incidents, but I'm still confused on how they could be connected. Like, how would they choose to cooperate with each other? The only thing is, like, would Monokuma allow that? Is that allowed to have two separate incidents?
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
Then again, if that's how it's designed to work, then yeah, if it is allowed to, have an accomplice, but also murder someone yourself, well, it's possible for the accomplice to also murder someone, then theoretically it improves your chances of graduating a lot better, right? Because the assumption would be it was only one murderer. So that means if the class trial determines one person to be the blackened, when in fact it was actually two different people murdering two different other people, then technically you both win then, right? Both the blackens win because the class wasn't able to properly determine who was guilty. Or at least half of them. At least one or the other person would get away with it. So you have a better chance of getting away with it that way. I'm just saying, that's the way I see it now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm processing this.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that the fact from the very beginning. I wonder how. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this. And again, my theory is that she's like a medium of some sort who can talk to the dead.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
Alter ego? Other than Celeste, like that's the only other person I can think of him simping for. Would it make sense for Celeste to pull this off? I mean, she is the top gambler, right? So maybe... Why would she need the money, though? Huh. I still don't have all the dots connected yet. Let me save the game. I think we're getting close, though. There's usually, what, 11 phases, right?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. The biggest indication it's probably Celeste is that she was the one that said the bodies were in the repository. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's only one person who seems to fit. I don't know. I'm gonna say Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
I'm still wondering where Alter Ego is. Where's Alter Ego come to play? Am I wrong about this then? Is Celeste not? I don't know. It's just Celeste is the one that said the bodies were in the repository. And it was locked, so I don't... Who else could have it been? And Hifumi does simp for Celeste a little bit. I don't know if he would simp all the way though, because he is a, he is a cultured man who prefers 2D. But then again, Celeste was also being very sussy during this trial. Yeah, I'm getting vibes it was Celeste, but I'm not 100% confident here. But this is the verdict. This is the accusation I'm going to make right now. Let's see where it goes.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him,
If I choose the wrong person, does it usually have this much dialogue?
that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brain fat, lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Okay, I think that's the tell here.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
I think Byakuya is going to point out that she was the one that pointed to the repository being where the bodies were.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
Yeah, maybe the two of them set up the photo. Yeah, Byakuya, you're on the right track. I'm getting ahead of you here, but I'm seeing where you're going with this. And yeah, other sussy behavior of Celeste was her pointing to pointing to Robo Justice being all over the fucking place. It's all making sense now. Yeah, I'm seeing it more and more. Yeah, good job, Byakuya. I know you didn't say it yet, but you're gonna say it. Good job.
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in? Encountering the suspicious individual?
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Sorry.
No, this is my turn, dude.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? Wrong. No, it's rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Okay, this is like the third time we flash back to this. I'm not reading it. Yeah, it was just her talking about Hifumi getting killed. quote-unquote killed in the nurse's office.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into 2 groups? Groups. I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. Office. I'll leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Yakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Ellipses.
And on top of that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing.
There are a number of strange things here.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I'm gonna save again. I think we're kind of at the end of it at this point, but... Man, I was really hoping Alter Ego was gonna be a part of this. What happened to Alter Ego?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sights of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys did. Died. Those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Okay, we're getting really pedantic here. So she said guys, plural. At the time, we only knew one person was dead, right? Or if that was the thought was. Huh. I think that's what we're going for.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Then again, like, when you go through it initially, your interpretation was that she was talking about all the guys that died previously. And it could have been gender neutral. Then again, yeah, guys have died before, so yeah, it depends on interpretation, I think, right? I think that's what we're going for here.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
What?
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Mikui just said the Celeste comment doesn't make any sense. Okay, in real life, I'll be fair here, okay? In real life, I often get, like, my words don't come out correctly all the time, you know? They aren't always grammatically correct. And I think if she said guys plural, the implication would be not so much that she knew 2 guys would be dead. She might be talking about all the other previous people who had died. But then again, this might be very specific. Maybe it's a translation thing. Maybe in Japan you wouldn't say guys in a way like that. Unless the situation was more specific to guys, as in the 2 guys who literally died right now, as in instead of the gender-neutral term of guys dying in the entirety of the game so far, right? I think that's what we're going for here. I think that's what we're going for. And yes, I'm one of those people who says guys gender neutrally, okay? I'm sorry. It happens. I'll try saying y'all from now on. But what is he alluding to? Huh. Monokuma File 3.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Those guys. Let's see how... Let's check the logs. I guess I can use So Strange on those guys. And with that in mind, what's so strange? I missed a hint. Let me look at the replay. I'm looking at the replay on Twitch right now. There's like a... When she said that. Okay. Yeah, okay.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
Just like...
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
It's so tricky trying to figure out how they want you to, like, reuse those things, though.
That's right.
Reuse the bullets.
There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
It's really tricky, okay? I think it's a translation thing, too. Like, this obviously was written in Japanese first, right? So it might not have been as easy to restructure these truth bullets to work in English.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
Again, the out with this would be to say she was saying those guys as in everyone who has died so far. So it is a tad out of character for her to say that, I think.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
The picture can still be staged.
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
Or Hifumi dragging away the costume.
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? Do we have more phases for this one? Let's see. Phase 12. Ooh. This is a meaty one. If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
I mean, you could have obviously... We already made that connection once we suspected it was Celeste working with him. Why would you argue that now, Celeste?
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Okay. Show me what you got. But is that really possible? Another one of these. He asked the hero's message.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
If I remember correctly, Gina said... She said that she couldn't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could
Stand up straight
like that.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Ooh, we figured it out.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You totally can't bend the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. Wait, didn't we already have this flashback?
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate, atheists. How many phases are we on now? Phase 13. Lucky number 13, right, Celeste?
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? You. Who tried to kill you? You. Who killed me? Me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Hiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
I'll be honest with you guys. We've been playing for what, like 20, 30-ish hours now, I think. I still can't remember everyone's name.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really—
What the hell
oops,
are
I
you
skipped.
talking about? I'll burn you alive!
We don't know Celeste's real name, do we? Yasuhiro.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
I'm sorry for accidentally skipping the line dialogue. Finger slip.
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said people's last names?
I got it! That's right, our last names. He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Oh, we've heard it far more than once, unfortunately.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to.
I mean, we don't know what Celeste's full name is, so,
And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Is there a bad connotation with the last name Yasuhiro, or is that just something she made up here? I don't know. I don't know the culture behind this. I'm assuming it's just nothing.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
You're taking this way too personally, then. Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Okay. Don't tell me I have to do the stupid bullet time thing again. Okay, just another argument. E-handbook, spotless hammer. Yasuhiro's message.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is...
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
On 420 also, nice.
That's it. The handbook.
What?
Nani?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
That's a violation of my HIPAA rights.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened?
Hey, where's Alter Ego? I'm still waiting for that part of the story. Why would you set that up and not have it here?
Please, just tell us.
After I take a bathroom break. BRB. Okay. So, the more I think about, maybe Alter Ego was kind of a red herring. Maybe the writers were like, okay, it's pretty obvious the events of the beginning of the chapter had something to do with this murder, so with this next murder here, let's throw this story in and not actually have it anything to do with this character. We'll leave a Chekhov's gun here, so that way the player would get distracted trying to see how this new element we introduced might play into something, when in fact it doesn't. Maybe that was why. Alright, back to it. Ellipses.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it.
Are we gonna do manga now?
Let me go over the case again. From the
It's
beginning,
manga time!
and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
We have to go from... Okay, we got 24 minutes to figure this out, so... In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? What the fuck is that? Could it really have been this? Chips? What time did the killer call the victim to the rec room? 1 o'clock. Who was the killer summoned first? They knocked him out, then stuffed him in the rowboat just to falsify their evidence, and he's certain I'm to do it. What time was Taka supposed to meet in the equipment room? Wait, no, it was 6 o'clock, so... Wait, what? Let's skip that for now, then. Oh no, I don't know about the Justice Hammers. Okay, in the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Oh, Justice Hammer 4 was the one used to kill Taka. What time was Taka supposed to head? Oh! It was 6. I thought it was 7 because it was rotated. Oh, god damn it. I'm so... Pepega moment there. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Which Justice Hammer was in the nurse's office. We can use something to move something Taka's body. The weapon used to murder Hifumi with was... what was it? Now. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Three. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it was 3. I'm so confused. The only picture here that sort of makes sense is that. I think I might get this one wrong, guys. I'm just not sure of everything. I completely lost track of all the hammers now. Yeah, I forgot. But we know 4 was the one used to kill Taka, at least from this image here. This one checks out, this one checks out, that checks out. I'm not too sure about this, but it's the only thing I can turn to right now. It's either that or the crystal ball, but I don't know why. I don't see any reason for him to be after the crystal ball. I assume 3 would be the one he would use to fool people into killing him, right? And then we use 2 as the one for the library. It's been almost 2 weeks. I don't remember the order of the hammers, guys. Let's see how this works out. We saved right before.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Okay. Okay. Okay, so it wasn't Chips. In that case, it has to be the orb, then. I don't know what else it could have been. I just don't see... Was there any reason for him to be interested in the orb? Maybe the picture? No.
Here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Okay, at this point we have to restart. Return to tile. I'm too embarrassed. Oh, we have to go all the way back here.
Hifumi was trying to tell us
Okay.
something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name.
Yasuhiro, if there's one person
It would have to be you, Celeste.
We'll have to do this
How
again.
many times do I have to say? Name Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since
You have no way.
to cut...
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
That any
Okay, let's skip this part.
So all we have, that's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of...
System, can I save here? There, phase 14.
Please.
Even when I'm put because I'm telling...
Fine then. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning.
I should have
and
saved
shed
here.
light on all your crimes. And that'll bring...
Okay. How would she recruit him? Seduction, huh? Okay. Huh. Yeah. Huh. What number was it? Hmm. Okay. I think it was 3. And I think 2 was used in the library. I don't remember. Fumi used something to move Taka's body. With the dolly. The weapon used to kill more. I think it was something in the backpack. I don't know. It's either that or... the laptop. That's how it plays in. She had... Celeste grabbed the laptop. I think.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
No. Okay. I don't see what else it would have been. Oh wait, the accomplice is him. Oh, I thought it was the item for the seduction. Ah, I should have looked at the keyword.
Here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
I thought it was supposed to be what she was using to lure him in. Because Hifumi's already in there! Why would I need to put him there to confirm it was him?
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro.
You know, I did suspect Celeste at the very beginning when she mentioned she had a picture, actually, now that I think about it. I was being very suspicious, but yeah, that actually doing it somewhere.
When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room.
Okay, at least I got that number right. It was in the other panels, though, so...
The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these two incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the
What the hell
refrigerator
is that
and
animation?
Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
The person who told us the bodies were in the repository when we knew the door was locked. Why do we have this graphic? Why?
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
How about you drag on these nuts on your face?
Interesting.
Hey. Nice.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
I'm still wondering what she gave. I'm guessing she was the one that took alter ego, and she was going to use that to give it to Hifumi. That's how she got him to be his accomplice, right? I don't know what else she could have promised him. Like, I know he was simping for her a little bit, but still, like, that dude was too cultured. He was into 2D.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
You can't hear it. You can barely hear it. Oh, fuck. I hate how the audio isn't properly balanced for the cutscenes.
What?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was...
Ta-da!
Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly,
I lost. Makita. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. How did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would happily agree to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her speciality. Lying. My speciality? Don't make me laugh. I don't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Then did you use... You know. I knew you figured it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice. Alright. Wrap it up. Alter ego.
indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but... It was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Yes, Makoto! You solved the fucking case and you still can't figure that out! Is she talking about alter ego? It's not even a question, It's not even a question, Naigi. Come on. You figured out the case. You should know that now.
Say what?
Nani? Nani? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words,
And you're the one that stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you come up with. Right again. Last night we had our meeting about how it disappeared. I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. The real question though is the motive, so is Celeste in debt or something? I'm still wondering. Because the motive this time is just the $10 million. If she's as good as a gambler as she says though, I don't see why. But maybe that's just a front. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
Nani?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. Nani?
So then,
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken, you know what, to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd show it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? He was supposed to yell. She was supposed to yell if either of us got too close. Got close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
Nani?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say he abused me.
what?
Nani? And he took pictures. He said if I do not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I knew he got a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
Completely unforgivable.
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Chotomate. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he made you his target.
What?
Escape. You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you. Nani?
indeed.
And also can keep her to himself.
This is unforgivable.
Timmy!
Completely unforgivable.
Timmy!
Honestly,
Can we allow him... Can we allow him continue with these barbaric acts? Don't you mean, can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? I don't know. Absolutely not. How could I? She.
I swear I will save her!
I have to save her.
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? Well, that's convenient. I've devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Ifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah. It was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it!
Let's see.
In that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part pretending to be dead, when someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
So you had planned to kill him all along? But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the million? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money. It's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life began, my only thought has been escape.
But
All along, you've been saying how you have to accept living here.
You little bitch.
Obviously, that was a lie. Yeah.
Hey,
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. I, Giorno Gervana, have a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. Okay, so this in this case, the motive was red herring. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make it metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. Castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. I respect the hustle. I'll give you that. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. Okay, so it did come into play. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end. So why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it.
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. And I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. And that's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can fool even my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings. But that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay then, let's get rolling. The black and disturbed the peace and must pay the price. I'm still wondering why these parts of the story aren't voiced.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
Okay, must be the key to the locker for, alter ego.
Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again, in another life.
Very quiet cutscene. The burning of the Versailles Witch. This doesn't really have much to do with gambling, though. I mean, she does have occult vibes, but yes, yeah, there's like, I was hoping for some more gambling-related shit. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's stuff is over. Celeste killed my friends. So I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world. And so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is. But that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make a... Oh, no, wrong lines. Wrong cadence here. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Gyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that? Ellipses.
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
Nani?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh man, oh geez, oh man, oh geez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I get out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go out enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Woohoo, see ya. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. And although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. He and Kyoko. Monokuma already mentioned it, but... What's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely. It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
Nani? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's the easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. Okay. As we approached the dressing room, Yoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why, exactly, are you going alone?
So,
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? You're still at risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You. Please let me go. Standing here, arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Peculiar.
Well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I try to forget what Hina said. Everyone head to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
shall we go?
Oh, shall we? Yeah.
So then,
We need to get to that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw.
You really came.
Ohayou gozaimasu. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Thank goodness. I've never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet this entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I may be able to find the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we talk a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Ellipses. Kyoko, please tell me. What are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you.
Is that why you wanted to come with me here?
However,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious people believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. Ellipses. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then,
That's fine.
fine, I'll tell you. And I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes. So I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action. Interesting. I wonder if this is a good cutting off point. I actually do want to get started on chapter 4, though. Let's get to the very end of chapter 3.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or a monitor in it. Interesting how she knows that. And in the storage closet there, way in the back, she said there's a way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet. Could Kyoko really be right about this? It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about. Could it really be hidden here? Secret passage. She said it was in the way. She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. And suddenly, as if I were being yanked in, ka-shunk. And at the time, And as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. And I had no idea what was going on. Bump. And I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door, and I made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom, second floor, there's the storage closet. Way in the back of the closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? There's a bunch of files and what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry. This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Someone has been looking at it recently. I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file, and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I can understand if it said, like, I can't leave, but you must not leave. Whoopsies. What is this? My head feels funny. Strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before. But I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Orewa. A strange sound rang through my head. I felt like I was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Ow! Apparently, something hit me and I lost my consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much, at least. It's just a normal desk with normal drawers. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone! The yearbooks. The student registry and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across to the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. Oh, why is he saying this out loud? My body was heavy with pain. My mind heavy with thought, and I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The farther I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. I can't see in the front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. That sound! It's coming from... the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. Croc! Yeah! Gagunk! Bugia! What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here? In the gym? What the hell's going on? This chapter's going on a lot longer than I suspected it would. I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Kacha! Bakyu! Hiya! Paching! I guess it's Kyoko doing martial arts or something? Bakya! Da-da-dun! Sha-sha-sha-sha-sha! Oh no, it's Sakura. Fine. Wait, is Sakura fighting? Yeah. Before me, their rage battle beyond anything humanly possible. Okay. I thought Kyoko were gonna meet up with her somehow. Okay. Yeah, I guess it makes more sense for Sakura to be fighting. But why is she fighting Monokuma right now? Before me, rage battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one's not human. That's for sure. But regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing?
Is Sakura gonna die? Oh no.
I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me?
Oh wait, Sakura? Was she the mole?
This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay.
Maybe this is what... Oh, maybe this is the person Sakura said was stronger than her.
But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
Her father? What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be? The mastermind spy is... A next generation legend, stand tall, galactic hero. A lot of people died. You received Super Robo Justice. We'll save it here. Let's see. Chapter 3 end. Leon killed Sayaka. Monokuma killed Junko. Then Leon got executed. Then Mondo killed Chihiro. You know what? Yeah, let's end it here, actually. This will be a good recap for the next time we play, and I already heard the achievement for finishing up Chapter 3, so we'll leave it there. It makes more sense to us to cut it off there for timing's purposes. Yeah, we had a actually very interesting case this time. Yeah. I mean, we did had our suspicions about Celeste at the very beginning just because of how convenient it was. But they did do a good job throwing us off track for a little bit there. With all the different confusion going on, me wondering how Alter Ego played a role into any of this at all, because obviously it had to, right? If you introduce a character like that, it has to come into play somehow in the chapter. I wasn't too sure about the extent. I think I overemphasized it though, and that's what got me lost with Celeste's involvement there. But yeah, that was very interesting, that story there. Chapter 3. Good one. I wonder how things are gonna unfold now. There's gonna be a lot less of us. Might not be as interesting anymore. No, it has to get more interesting. It has to. That's the only way these things work, right? Yeah, that's gonna be it for this evening. I'll probably try to play a little bit more tomorrow, hopefully, if I have the time. Yeah, kids are dying all over the place, so I think we're about halfway through the game now. We're on chapter 4, right? There's like 7 or 8 chapters. So yeah, we're about halfway through. And that's gonna be it for now. For anyone who's watching, thank you for watching. Thank you, Zebrahead CYF, for stopping by and saying hello in the chat. And I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.